got little Fifi's food.
How much do you pay for that?
How much do I pay? Doesn't matter. I love my dog and I'm gonna feed him the best.
It's just a dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a dog. This is not just a dog. This is a family member. So by feeding the best, we ensure that this family member stays with us for years. Hi, my name's Nico, and today we're going to talk about pet food, what it is and why it's important. We're also going to address the three major classifications or groups of pet food that you'll find in most pet stores. They are grocery or economy, your holistic, and your premium. And sometimes we also add a fourth group that's kind of come into the mix, your super premium or your super holistic. Your economy or your grocery foods can typically be found in most grocery stores. They might also carry these premium foods here like Pro Plan. These foods are going to be at the higher end of the kind of the money scale. They're going to be a little bit more than obviously some of these lower shelf brands here. A lot of the ingredients that are put into these foods we do find there's some cost effectiveness. Here we have a holistic brand that you would actually have to go to a pet specialty store to find. You won't find this at any grocery store. A lot of times these holistic brands will have, kind of like the name says, different ingredients, not the norm, not something that you would find in a grocery brand or sometimes even a premium brand. Again, what I was talking about with the kind of the newer group that we're starting to see, the super premium or the super holistic premium, these foods are formulated with extremely high standards. This particular one is actually made in Canada and they actually do a really good job with their food. Their name's Origin. We're going to go around and we're going to look at some bags and dissect some ingredients, and yeah. So what is pet food? Well, pet food comes in several different forms. You have your dry food, you have your wet food, there's kind of food that might be in the middle. You also have your raw food, which is kind of a newer diet that we start to see in a lot of retail stores. The first classification that I had talked about was the grocery or economy, and this section here is a very good example of maybe what you would find in a grocery or economy environment. All pet food is formulated according to AAFCO, that's AAFCO. It stands for the American Association of Feed Control Officials. Pet food labels and the food itself is, they need to meet or exceed the requirements that are given by AAFCO in order to be sold on the shelves in any type of retail store. Some of these foods are cost-effective foods, and you'll find that the price on them is actually a really great buy. But when we look into the ingredients on these foods, we start to see some cutting of corners by some of these manufacturers, and we're going to talk about those today. Dogs are omnivores. They have evolved over tens of thousands of years. If you look at a dog's teeth, I find it really hard to believe that a dog is evolved and adapted to gnashing on a corn husk. I also find it hard to believe that there was a pack of wild dogs that attacked a cornfield. My question is, why are we using ground whole corn as the first ingredient? I'm just going to pick on this food since it's right here. Kind of look at what we have for the first couple ingredients. Just like human grade food, the first ingredient is going to weigh the most. It's going to be mostly consistent of that. Looks like Pedigree Adult. Ground whole corn is the first ingredient.
Ground whole corn is the first ingredient.
Pro Plan, which is considered to be, let's do this one. Considered to be premium food, and it would be actually one of the better foods in a grocery environment. We do see chicken as the first ingredient, which isn't bad because chicken, quote unquote, according to AAFCO, is defined as a meat product, poultry that has its water, the bones, and everything, the fat included. Even after the cooking process, actually the amount of chicken is going to be diminished because all that water is going to be gone, and water adds a lot of weight. What we like to see actually in a lot of foods is chicken meal. Meal is the meat at a 300% concentration. If it's mostly consistent of a meal, it's got more meat in there than anything. Just imagine a piece of jerky that has no water or fat on it. Here we have a holistic selection here. Actually, I chose this one because the name is Holistic Select. They do market that obviously that holistic approach to pet food. This particular brand here is kind of their philosophy is unique digestive health support system. Let's take this random bag here. We'll look at the first three ingredients. We have chicken meal, ground brown rice, ground white rice. So we see a meat source that's first, that's in the form of a meal, so a 300% concentration of chicken. And then the two others after with the brown rice, a highly digestible carbohydrate source, and then white rice following right behind that. They do add oatmeal in here, which is really great for digestion and for skin and coat. One unique thing actually about this particular brand, Holistic Select, they add digestive enzymes that would help speed up the reactions of whatever these enzymes are specific for. Here we're at a section that has a lot of mix of holistic brands, but we also have a very super premium, super holistic brand here. The reason why it makes it super premium or super holistic is that the amount of care and the standards that are made for this food to be formulated are actually extremely high. This particular brand, Origin here, some of their more basic diets do have a mix of some very different protein sources, such as lamb, boar, bison, all in one. This regional red here actually has a mix of that beef, boar, lamb, looks like pork and bison. The dogs that are going to utilize that amount of protein or the high amounts of fat that are in here would be like working dogs, German Shepherds, Huskies, even like Staffordshire Terriers would benefit from the amount of lean proteins that are in here. But even smaller dogs can benefit from this food as well. I would not actually recommend this food to dogs or cats that if they're like a cinder block with legs, they might not benefit off of this food that much.